This is it. We're going.
We're going.
I'm
Okay.
sitting. I'm breathing. We did it. Very nice shirt.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Lulu.
Of course.
You're a top button guy.
You know, I was at work, and honestly, I feel like this is going to sound really pretentious.
All right. Well, Kyle Mara's on the pod. Pretentious?
I just sometimes feel like my chest hair is like, it's not like sexy, but it's like, put that fucking away. You know, like, I'm very conservative when it comes to like certain things.
Okay.
So like
Certain things. Wait, so let's see the chest flow here.
this, like,
Let's see what it looks like.
Like if I have like my glasses hanging down and it's nice out and it's just like, it's a little like, I don't
Your
know.
glasses hanging down? Like on the here?
On the like I just put it around my neck, but like I just feel like it's too like it's not. I'm dancing around the word sexy. I'm not saying I'm sexy, but it's sometimes it's a little too much. Like I'm like, who the fuck, like, button up, like, you know, like
Right.
Like I'm gonna be an awful father. My daughter's gonna come down in like a grout fit, and I'm gonna be like, put on a winter jacket, you fucking whore. You know, it's like
Yeah, real South Shore dad. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You sell refrigerator parts?
no,
No,
that's
that's done.
yeah.
What you do?
I'm just like a secretary now.
You're that's the job of the secretary. Is to be too sexy.
Yeah, but no, not in this business.
What line of business are you in?
Let's not. I don't like talking about this stuff on podcasts. Right? Let's start over again. This is crazy.
This is crazy. You're telling me you're too sexy with a button without a button?
I just don't like showing my chest hair. I just don't like doing it.
You just don't like show. Okay.
Yeah.
In the office, it's not office appropriate. If you went to a happy hour, could you do it?
Even on stage, even when I'm doing stand up. Oh, button is up.
You're buttoned up all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're-
Dude, I have this thing now on stage. Like, unless it's like a nice polo, I don't show my elbows on stage.
This is a first.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the no elbow policy.
I think this is about like, unless it's like I said, like a nice. I have like these two nice polos I'll wear every once in a while with a bit longer sleeves, not like egregiously like
I
long,
understand
but
what
like,
you're saying.
but yeah, I don't like showing a lot of skin. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Do you think you'll turn on too many people?
No, I just don't. I think it's just like, how can you laugh at someone that's like,
A T-shirt. You can't wear a T-shirt?
that pisses me off now when I see comedians in t-shirts.
T-shirt?
Like a t-shirt, like a short sleeve t-shirt annoys me.
Really?
Yeah. These people came to see you. Put on like cover up your elbows at least.
You go to do a set. Louis C.K.'s there, black shirt.
Like black short sleeve t-shirt.
His usual black. Yeah.
I think he's past that. I think he's moved on from that. Remember that thing before he got canceled? He was like only wore suits.
Oh, is that a thing?
It was, and then he got canceled. And I think he stopped giving.
And then he
a
went
fuck.
back to the T-shirts?
I don't think he's back at t-shirts, but he's definitely not back down. Like I saw him recently. Actually, he was wearing a sweater. It was pretty hot out.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I saw him on the subway the other day, but
By the way, my whole no elbow thing has nothing to do with Louis C.K. and his t-shirt. I'm just saying.
no.
like,
But
yeah, and
I'm
his
just
suit
trying
thing.
to find your.
Yeah,
Your border.
I really don't like showing a lot of skin on stage. It's like one of those things. Like it's like female comedians too. And this is going to sound obviously misogynistic, but
No.
I don't get like I'm saying women comedians get it. Like any female comedians that like you respect, they don't wear dresses every day. Like a Rachel Feinstein. She's always in jeans and like a nice shirt, and it's like very like it's all about her, not her body. Even though she's pretty hot. This is so weird now. This is getting so
You
fucking.
brought it here.
I
That's why the
know,
button
I
was
don't
all the way
know.
up. You're saying you're too sexy for the button.
I'm not too. At happy hour, yeah, fucking put a button down. You think I'm one of those nerds that has like all his buttons up at a happy hour?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I didn't think so. Now we're having this conversation. Now I think so.
That's different. That's you want the chest hair out. You want to show some. You want to you know.
Let me ask you a question. You're at a wedding. You go to the service. You have a tie on.
Of course.
You go to the reception. What happens to the tie?
Maybe I'll take my jacket off.
You'll take the jacket off? Tie's still tight?
I've been to like 2 weddings. No one invites me to shit.
Yeah, well.
Have you heard the past things I said the past 10 minutes? You think
Yeah.
you think I'm getting invited to things?
I know. Once you start talking about your butt and chest hair fiasco.
Yeah, this is the first 10 minutes. This God help my soul. But
you wear flip-flops around the city?
I am guilty of this. It's not common. It's truly a thing of laziness. Sunday morning, if like I just went to the gym,
Yes.
I don't want to burn a pair of socks because I know I'm going to take my maybe I'll put flip flops on. But even like let's call it like half a dozen times a year I do it, I get back, I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, who does this?
I know, but I feel like you should be able to. I've recently had a conversation with myself about this.
I don't wear shorts unless I'm going to the gym in the city. I don't think men shouldn't show men should not show their knees in the city.
Did you become Muslim all of a sudden? Men can't show their knees or their elbows. Women, forget about it. We won't even go there. What the hell happened?
I've always been like this. It's one of those things like I'm just getting set in my ways. That's all.
It's 90 degrees out. You're not doing a set. We're not going to include comedy in this.
I don't own shorts that aren't gym shorts, and I only wear gym shorts to the gym.
You go to it's Sunday. A game's on. It's today, 80 degrees out. No sets. You're going to the bar to meet up with a few guys.
Oh my God, no, yeah. You can't even get into bars with bars I want to go to. You can't even wear shorts.
Kyle, what bars are you going to that they can't wear shorts? I've been to the bars you go to with you. You can wear shorts.
No, you can't. Dude,
Village Tavern? You could go in the Village Tavern with shorts
My
on.
friends come to the city from Baltimore. This is a big thing coming out of college. They'd fucking show up. They're like Baltimore, like country club douchebags.
Wow.
And it's like khakis, everything, and like polos or like khaki shorts. And they would get denied from bars like for like months every time they came up. We were like, listen, you cannot wear shorts in New York City bars after like 8 o'clock or whatever it is. But you will get denied by a bouncer. Try it this weekend.
Try this weekend. I'll be in Austin.
Oh,
You can wear shorts in Austin.
there's an excuse.
You can't wear pants in Austin. 105 degrees.
Yeah, the place you can wear a gun on your hip. You can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
That's true. What's going on with the apartment?
You're talking about all these things I don't want to talk about.
I didn't know these are all touchy subjects. Are people smoking or are they not smoking?
Oh, the cigs. It was weird. Months without the cigs. It's been so long without that problem. For those of you that don't know, there was a problem with. I live in a smoking building, which apparently you can get grandfathered into, which no one knows.
I didn't even know there were smoking buildings until you said you moved into a smoking building.
And I got like these nice filters. I got these it's crazy.
For cigarettes?
It's for like any odor.
Why?
I got this actually electric air filter I plug into the wall, which I hadn't had to use it for months. And I got these they're called like air sponges or something.
What?
Think of like a sponge, like actual disc,
I've seen a sponge.
A sponge. But it's like clearly like a more organic material, like
more organic
what's
than
the
a
word?
sponge?
What's the word I'm looking for? It's like soap. Imagine a soap sponge, like a literal soap, like a bar of soap
in sponge form?
in sponge form.
In terms of squishiness or in terms of holes?
Holes.
Okay.
And it's in like this plastic bowl thing with a grate on top. And I have 2 of those. And they just suck in all this smell. And you think, like, what does this thing do? At the end of, like, the 4 months whenever they're done, it's, like, shrunk. And it's this little tiny, like, just nub.
Okay.
Because it eats all the bacteria and the smell.
It's like those
like-
cones.
I don't know, cones. What cones?
Yeah, they got cones.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who makes the cones.
It, like, recycles the
Febreze
air.
makes the cones.
It's probably something similar, but like it recycles it. Like, and about like 2 weeks ago, I don't know if the smoker came back or just like my stuff was dead, but like it was a heavy smoking smell. But it's been squashed for the most part.
it is smoking season.
Cigs. There was an article in the Times about how like cigs made a comeback during the pandemic. People were like, "Fuck it, world's ending."
Right, who gives a fuck?
I'm gonna smoke a cig.
Cigs, I will say, cigs might be back.
Oh no, 100% back.
Yeah,
100%.
they were gone for a bit.
You know what? While we're on this subject, this is something I want to talk about. You know how I don't like vaping. I'm very anti-vape.
I didn't. There's so many rules I'm learning.
I think if you vape, you're just a fucking loser.
Okay.
Like either smoke a cigarette like a fucking like a real person, or just like it's a poser thing. That's all it is.
The vape.
Vapes are for posers.
Okay.
There's
I'm with you so far.
There are people that just want to be like fuck. So vaping indoors. Since like I remember the exact moment I hated this. It was 2013.
Oh. Okay.
I was I may have even like told you the story on this podcast. I don't know, because this is like I don't know. It's at a bar in college.
Okay.
And it was called like it was the Top Bar. It was like the bar wasn't called Top Bar, but you go to the Top Bar was like where we hung out. And it was this narrow
2-story bar.
No, it was just like
Oh.
a story like 1.5 stories where like just the top part was
1.5?
raised and looked down on the back part. The rest
Okay.
of it. The big part. And this was like very narrow and like it was you could like everyone
It was
sat.
a lofted bar.
Yeah, sounds like Burger, yeah.
Okay.
The back, like, so there was probably 10, 12 seats, and, like, your friend could stand behind you if you were, like, feeling generous, because it's tight up there.
Okay.
And it gets really packed, and it's, like, one of those things, like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I was, like, a junior or a senior. I was a junior. I remember, because I remember this exact moment, but this guy was a freshman on, like, the swim team. Thought he was, like, cool hanging out there up there with us.
I'm already out on swim team.
Exactly. He vapes, blows a big puff of smoke into the back of my... He's standing behind me. I didn't even know he was there. He was just trying to act cool, like, oh, I'm up at the top bar,
Right.
type of thing. Blows, and I go, what the fuck was that? Like, it was all in my ear. I was just like, oh, and he's like, oh, don't worry, dude. It's just water vapor. I'm like, oh, that's not what I'm fucking worried about. Don't blow fucking smoke. And, like, we got into it type of thing. But ever since then, I was out on vapes before that, and now ever since. But now when I see people vape... Like, when I see vapes in a comedy club and I see that cloud of smoke.
Wait, what?
Oh, drives
What
me
place are you
crazy.
performing that allow vaping?
I see it every place I perform. People vape. Oh, it's not allowed. People just do it inside.
Yeah, they hide. They try to do this.
It's like a not giving a fuck. It's like, but it's clearly you're doing it, and it just drives me fucking so distracting. It's so annoying. It's not cool. It's for fucking losers.
And it's probably I have no scientific support of this. It's doing the same thing as cigs.
Yeah, it's probably doing the same damage, just a different type of damage. You know, like
Same type of damage, a different type of
like
damage.
the same level of damage, but
Yes.
a different type. You know,
I agree.
Yeah,
I have no medical research for this, but I agree wholeheartedly.
I can't.
There's
I
no
can't,
way it can't.
I can't see it being good for you.
Just no, you can't. You shouldn't be able to form clouds
You're right.
with a thing.
It's just water vapor, bro. No.
No, it's not. Because you know what happens when you suck in water vapor? You don't feel anything. So you're lying already.
No, it's so lame. Like, you know how there's like hacks come up with, like the same jokes.
Yes.
And it's like I love when people do the oh, you're sucking a USB drive. Oh,
yeah.
I like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, how do you not know 1,000 other comics have that same joke?
Hey, it's easy.
Yeah.
But all right. All right.
You're right.
Few topics I want to hit on.
Please.
First, topical topic.
Okay.
Topical topic.
Okay.
You see Top Gun?
I did.
You want to talk about it?
Surely.
Okay. You have any gripes? It was a good movie. Let's start with this. Good movie.
Good movie. I honestly, I am not. I saw the first one probably 2 full times in its entirety and like bits and pieces over the year on like cable. I am not like a Top Gun fanboy whatsoever. So when I saw everyone being like, "It's really fucking good," I'm like, "Oh, these are just the nerds. These are like the Top Gun like MCU fans." Where
Yep.
they're like, "This is my fucking moment." It's like, no, it's just another movie.
They wear it every year for Halloween. One of those guys.
Is there a Top Gun Halloween? Is that a thing?
Oh, big time. Big, big, big.
I don't know if you could tell by my stance on showing elbows, but I don't get invited to a lot of Halloween parties.
You don't say. Not just Halloween parties, Kyle.
Yeah,
Parties in general.
Weddings.
Any gathering.
But I saw it. I was oh, actually, that was like a good movie. The only gripe. It's not even a gripe. It was just like I saw it with Brendan Ryan. I don't know if you know
There you go, Brendan Ryan, of course.
And I first of all, I don't think I've seen a movie with someone. The last movie I saw with someone was probably I saw the last Jurassic Park with my mom. And
That's nice.
I go to the movies all the time. Like I go alone all the time.
You're like Hardy.
Oh, I mean, I would never say I'm like Hardy in any aspect, but there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
that
you're
go-
right, because he shows his elbows.
That goes. Now he is. He's changed his look apparently. He.
Yeah, but he's growing it back out.
Oh, I thought he
He shaved it
took
down,
a
now he's
pivot.
growing it back out.
Interesting.
And he might get tattoos, he might not. Don't even ask him.
What type of tats?
He wants to go for a surfer look, but not surf.
I was gonna say, is he gonna get like an ironic tribal tattoo?
No, not a tribal tattoo. He has lyrics he wants to get tattooed on him. It's a whole thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not even a gripe with this movie, but just like we were watching this and we looked at each other like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm saying this as a big fan of Jennifer Connelly. That first scene with Jennifer Connelly in the bar when she's talking to Tom
Maverick.
Cruise, she's on a different level of like, I am not in this movie right now. I am just saying shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
She was in for a paycheck.
But she's killing it. But she's killing it.
Yeah.
Though. Killing it.
I will also say before we get into this, spoiler alert.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Big spoiler alert here. Several spoilers. One, John Hamm's in it.
He's in the fucking preview.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
It wasn't advertised at all. And by advertised, I mean not promoted on TikTok at all. No one's talking about John Hamm.
Yeah.
You knew Miles Teller was playing Goose's son?
I think everyone knew John Hamm was in it.
I had zero idea John Hamm was in that movie. Zero. Also, why does John Hamm have to keep... He's in like a Progressive commercial now.
I like that Progressive commercial, though.
It's a good commercial.
I'm a fan.
But, like, what happened to the Mad Men money?
You know what I'm curious about?
He was in Curb?
I think he's... I recently heard this. You know how there's SAG and AFTRA?
Yes.
SAG-AFTRA?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what the fuck is AFTRA? I don't know what year this stopped, but someone just told me this recently. I think Mad Men is pre this. So if you're in a show that was just SAG money, you are living so good. Okay. If it goes into syndication and reruns and shit like that. If you're in and I think the demarcation line is like 2015, 2016, whenever AFTRA became like SAG-AFTRA.
Okay.
So now if you're in so no shows are SAG anymore. So now all shows are AFTRA.
Ooh, I didn't know this.
So the AFTRA syndication rerun money is fucking nothing compared to the SAG. So if you're in one of these shows like Mad Men's repeat, like it's on. I don't know if it's syndication, but it's played
on Netflix, Hulu, all those.
No, but I'm saying like TV, like with ad money.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, like I think
so. If you're
streaming has nothing to do with syndication. Syndication is like you're on not the channel you were originally aired on repeats, like 30 Rock, Seinfeld.
Yes.
Like, and there's very few dramas like that. Mad Men, even though I don't think they're still just only on AMC, but they get played a lot. So I think he's getting a lot of that fucking crazy rerun money.
Okay.
I think he's set for life, I'm pretty sure.
You would think.
Yeah, I think he's just doing shit to like stay relevant, to like get roles here and there. I don't think he's having a hard time.
I don't know. What? And I didn't think that. I saw him in Curb and I was like, "Why are you in Curb?" Well, and then the progressive commercial when someone's in a commercial,
well, have you seen the Apple TV commercial? I think he has his own Apple TV commercial about this. I think he's kind of making fun of the fact that he's just chilling right now because he's on the phone with Tim Cook. I think it's supposed to be the head of Apple.
Okay.
And he's like, look at all these people you gave shows. You didn't give me a show. You gave Tom Hanks a show. You gave this person a show. You gave this person a show. It's like, what about me? It's just kind of like, I think he's kind of pointing at the fact like, I don't need to do fucking anything.
All right. Well, I'm a Ham fan.
Okay.
What a fan.
What do they call him in the commercial? They're like Tom Jam or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my first gripe. Second gripe. Who is Jennifer Connelly in this movie?
She played. You know what? I like when movies do what they did with her. They bring a character in. They establish her as someone that happened in between movies. And they're not just like dragging people along for fan service. It's like a big problem with this whole like expanded universe sequel world we're living in right now is that they don't know. They just figured out how to do an expanded universe. It started, the first really people that did it. Marvel's different because there's so many comics, but like other franchises like Star Wars finally got it right with Mandalorian. We don't need to see Darth Vader every fucking movie. We just need to see something cool and different.
Okay.
So it's like, instead of giving us like this fan service, it's the same fucking characters over and over again, and some story that we probably know what's going to happen. It's different characters having new things happen to them.
And that's all well and good. Here's my thing. If you're going to do that, no problem. Throw a line in there just to let us know how you met.
That's unnecessary.
No, it's the whole movie, I'm sitting there like, how the fuck do they know each other? And then especially he climbs out her window and the daughter's there.
They clearly dated.
When? When Goose was dead? When his father was gay?
They say like they broke up 3 years ago or something like that.
Did they say that?
Yeah.
Nah, right. Okay, so maybe.
Right. 0 for 2, Rich. What's your next?
That was another gripe I had. Well, what's another gripe I had with this? They don't want to talk about who the enemy is.
I had no dog in that fight. And I heard an interview about it, and that's a thing they try to do apparently. And I'm repeating something I heard. They do that now, so shit ages okay. So like, say in 10 years, say they made it. Say we have a problem with, just say Ukraine, even though we're friendly with Ukraine right now.
I understand what you're saying.
And in 10 years they go, now we fucking love or hate Ukraine. There's no like, ooh, TBS can't show this movie because Ukraine's good or bad in it type of thing.
That's fair.
Yeah, but
That's
let's
a
be
fair
honest. We know
critique.
it's fucking Russia.
Well, with the snow, yeah, it was obvious. Also, uranium. You always hear about uranium in movies.
Right.
You never hear about uranium any other time. They're trying to stop uranium. When are we encountering uranium?
You know, actually, no. I'll say with the one gripe. If I had one real gripe with this movie, was when the uranium thing blows up, and how big it was underneath that little box.
What the fuck do you know about uranium? I don't know anything about it. It could explode like that.
I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, I know nothing about uranium, but I know if you're gonna have a facility that size, you're gonna have one more than one little vent that's like in the middle of a valley. Like that whole mountain range blew up.
Probably, but as someone that has no uranium experience besides hearing about it in movies,
Right.
very well could be. Also, I'm not a bomb stickler, you know?
Okay.
But if I drop a bomb on a uranium plant, I think one's enough. I don't need to throw a bomb down there to expose the uranium. Did they expose the? Why did they drop the first bomb?
To get through like the. I think that's one of those things. That's just an excuse to have more characters in the movie, more fun characters. Because then what's the point of having X amount of pilots? But also, this also annoyed me. Are you a Star Wars fan?
No.
The whole there's in the first Star Wars ever. There's this thing. It's like he's like, use the Force, so he doesn't like use the radar camera to get the bomb in the hole. It's
Okay.
the same thing. It's like my radar thing is broken. It's like, just fucking feel it, bro. And
Yeah.
like it's all about precision and like it's a 1 in a million. We need a miracle. And then things out. Guy fucking crushes it.
I do agree with that. Where if you're the top 1% of bomb droppers,
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, you should have trained for that.
Yeah. And it's all and that was actually that's my real whole
That's another
sequence-
gripe. We're adding to gripes.
Yeah. But
Also, his name's Bob. Shut the.
who's Bob?
The guy Bob in the movie. They're like, oh, what's your code name? It's Bob.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is this, 2004 and you're in 6th grade? Bob? Are you serious? It's not that
Right.
funny.
This is gonna sound. You know what I liked about this movie? Speaking of Bob, I'm thinking about the other pilots. I like how. I'm not going to say this. This is actually too. I'll tell you off.
No, you gotta say it now.
No, this is truly like we'll come back and bite me in the ass type of thing.
Yeah, all right. Were you going to say how it was a very diverse cast, but the Asian woman had no lines?
There was an Asian woman in the movie.
See? You didn't even know.
How hot was the woman pilot though?
The Hispanic one.
Was she Hispanic?
I think so.
I thought she could have been Greek, Italian. I thought she was. I'll
She
tell
was
you what.
very attractive.
Getting back to me in clothing.
What?
The football scene.
What an odd scene.
Odd scene, and I hate like this is women's like
Sports bras?
sports bras and like loose shorts.
It's a very lesbian look.
It's a very and she is like I was like wow I'm into this for once
Oh.
because I'm so used to you're so used to nowadays you go to the gym women are wearing like spandex everything, so when you see these women in like loose like not baggy shorts just like looser shorts like this fucking slob, and then this girl in this movie I'm like she can make it work. I'm a big fan.
I can't get a read on you, man. You're covering your elbows. You're like loose shorts on girls.
No, I
What's
don't. I
going
don't
on?
like it. Just
Well, on her you
it
did.
is because she really made it work for her.
But just what? And like,
But that being said, I was thinking about this. You can't have her in like a fucking string bikini with all these like macho
Right,
dudes.
tackling
She has
and-
to be in something. But this is the first time I found that look attractive.
okay. Here's my thing with that scene. It was such an unnecessary scene, but they did the volleyball scene in the first one, so they needed something
a
like
lot of
that
it was
in
like
this one.
shot for shot. Yeah, like similar stuff.
But here's my thing. You didn't need it in the first one.
What do you, Quentin Tarantino in that movie? He's like, it's just like a gay analogy the whole movie.
I mean, you know, I'm not saying if my dad was a movie critic, that's what he would say. That's a gripe. What other gripes did I have?
Wait, what's the gripe? What's the gripe?
Well, it was a gripe. The bomb dropping was absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay, so this whole time, Cruise is training him for this mission. And I agree with you. They're like, you need 2 miracles in this mission. Maybe we design a better fucking mission.
Right.
How did Tom Cruise have that like beautiful plane when in the beginning of the movie that went to 10 knots
like
or whatever?
The yeah.
How did they have that he just joyrided?
Right.
And when they actually need functioning planes,
Right.
they're like, yeah, no, use the.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, that's the whole crux of the movie. It's like Tom Cruise is trying to save this program, but at the end of the day, like, let's get a drone out there. let's put a drone in.
I mean, yeah, that's
There's no
true.
movie if you just say, let's just drone strike this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's really just an excuse to, like, this movie should have been made like pre-Obama, you know? like in 07, this movie would have been like, fuck yeah. But now we're like, just drone those pieces of shit. you
Yeah,
know?
that's true. I didn't think that far.
Yeah.
I don't know how you put Miles Teller in a movie about drones.
You did, remember that movie Eagle Eye that stunk?
No.
Drone movies aren't good.
Drone movie.
They're like,
You don't say.
Yeah.
Unless it's like oh, you know what would be good? A Pixar drone movie. The drones have
Jesus.
personalities and they're flying.
it would have to be like a short that like went ahead of a real Pixar movie. You know, it's like
Yeah.
like the
yeah. I don't know where they'd air that, but yeah, I'm in. It's like one guy's creative project.
right. So Danny the drone, he
Yeah. So let me pitch this idea.
Right,
Do you
right.
ever see a drone and it's like all boring?
right. It's like, remember that little short video with the dumplings? Just picture that with drones.
It's cars, but promoting war.
Yeah, in the Middle East.
It's all in.
We don't say they're Iraqi, but we don't know they're Iraqi.
They're the enemy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, the enemy just happens to live in Syria.
That's
So-
all I'm saying. What was my last gripe? What was I going for? Oh, yeah, Cruz is training all these people, and then he just does the thing.
Well, this is where me not being a fan of the first one threw me a bit. Is that what happens in the first one? Is he the instructor, or is he just like a agent? Is he like a I don't remember the first one.
I haven't seen the
honest.
first one in a while, so correct me if I'm gay. But
I won't be able to. I don't know.
yeah, well, no, not you, but
Yeah.
call us in.
Right.
It ends with him because Goose dies, and he's like, "I'm just going to be an instructor."
Okay.
That's how it ends. And then this movie starts, and he wasn't an instructor, and he comes back as an
Well,
instructor.
they say he was instructor for 2 months and it didn't work out. Did you watch this movie?
Yeah, I might have missed. I don't know. I had a popcorn. I had a root beer. But so he joins them on this mission, and that's a time where I'd like a little line to be like, "Hey, Tom, can you help?" He's like, "All right." It could have been a quick 10-second thing, like, "Oh, by the way, Tom, we need you." Like,
Well,
"All right."
no, that's the whole John Hamm scene when he's like, I could do two things right now. I could either like court-martial you. I could either save this country or like save my career or something like that.
Yeah, but I thought that meant like he's
How
not
high were you?
permanently
Do you
suspended.
take
I was with my
drugs?
parents and my sister and her boyfriend. It's a whole thing.
Gosh, wow, a family affair.
It was a whole. Yeah, don't you go with your family to see war promoting movies?
Were you all on like red, white, and blue tuxes or something like that?
Yeah, and then we went to On the Border after.
What's on the border?
On the Border.
I can imagine it's a Mexican
It's
restaurant,
a Mexican restaurant. Yeah,
but on the good side.
that's fucking right. Side of the boys. What movie theater did you see yours at?
We saw it at the Rockville Center AMC, which I'm not a fan of.
Wow.
I actually hate going to see movies there.
Why'd you go?
Just convenience, like timing wise. I was on the app. This is the only thing, by the way. Now that we're talking about Mexican restaurants, I was talking to a Mexican guy recently. Found this out.
It's gonna be nothing relevant to the conversation. You know what he said?
And I was talking to him, and I was like, I can't tell if I'm because we were at a Mexican restaurant, and I was like,
a Mexican guy at a Mexican restaurant.
believe it or not,
That's just it's just a guy at a restaurant at that point.
but we were in America, so I feel like I need to.
Fucking right, we were.
I was like, I can't tell if I'm in the mood for guacamole or queso.
Two very different.
Well, it
foods.
was like you get chips with guac or queso.
I'm aware of how chips work.
Anyway, I go and we're just like, and he's like, oh, we're just talking. He's like, queso is not really Mexican food. I was like, really? He was like, it's not really Mexican. I go, what do you mean? And the way he was describing it, he essentially, he didn't say this, but like this is the analogy I've been using. Queso is American Mexican food the same way Chinese food is Chinese American food. Like it's Americanized.
You tell me there's no cheese in all of Mexico?
You're putting words in my mouth. I'm saying melted cheese like that in the quantities we serve them is not a Mexican thing at all.
Well, the quantities we serve them, I will agree. That it is egregious
Right.
what we're doing with queso.
I didn't get a full backstory, but maybe they poured on something. But like, no, I don't think they're giving out bowls of queso.
They're
Mexican.
not just dipping
giving on what
things
this
in
guy
cheese.
that claimed to be Mexican told me. So
You're telling me there's not one part of Mexico that's like Wisconsin?
once again, Rich, you're. This guy wasn't an encyclopedia. He was just.
How the fuck do you know this guy? You just went with a random Mexican guy to a
No,
Mexican
no, we were at a
restaurant?
bar, and he like there's a game on. He said something to me, and we started talking. I honestly, I forget the specifics,
Yeah,
but
right.
it wasn't like he was like a ghost. Like it was a real person, but like I just don't. I don't remember.
It's just like your
exactly
Mexican
how it
subconscious.
went down. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You sure it wasn't just Duolingo?
I'm thinking it's like but first of all, we'll get back to Duolingo. It's not like it was like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense. What is Duolingo, by the way?
What is it? It's an app to teach you a language.
You ever have this problem on the internet now where there's so much shit out there and so many memes and so many iterations and like stuff in between that you miss that when someone brings something up, you're like, the reference is so lost on you.
I understand what you mean, not with Duolingo.
But
But
I saw this meme the other day and it was just like, blah, 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 blah. Last thing, Duolingo. I was like, the translation app? Like, what the fuck is this?
no, they're doing a thing. They're trying to get like Dua Lipa on Duolingo.
It, nothing to do with Dua Lipa.
Nah, it's
I do get a lot of Dua Lipa stuff in my Explore page for some reason, but
Well, I mean, I can tell you why. She is one handsome woman.
you don't think she's hot?
No, that's what I mean.
Oh,
I try to say it in a funnier way because this is
no,
a comedy podcast.
I've heard people say handsome as in like that's how they describe lesbians. Like, oh, she's a real
Oh.
yeah.
Maybe she is a lesbian. I don't know.
No,
That's
but
one
like,
hot
like
lesbian.
they say it like in an insulting way. Like it's like,
Oh.
oh, you're really you know, Chris is really handsome. You know, it's like she's like
Nah, I understand what you
yeah.
mean.
So
Yeah, well, that's a little South Shore lingo for you right there.
okay.
Okay, yeah, those are all my gripes.
You brought you. What was the last gripe? You like reminded me of a gripe I had with this movie. That and I really liked it too. It's really just the
It's a
bomb,
great movie.
the bomb thing.
The bomb thing really annoyed me.
I think it was a drone thing that we brought up earlier. Yeah, that just drone these people. That's all.
Oh, here's another gripe I have. You're telling me, so we already spoiled so much. John Hamm takes over for Tom Cruise, right? And he's going over the mission and how he's going to change the mission. He's changing the times. He's changing the speeds. In the middle of this, Tom Cruise just takes a plane for a joyride and goes through the course?
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say that's kind of like it's not a gripe, but it's one of those things. That's like that's where you have like the suspension of disbelief with movies, where it's like he should have been arrested 3 times in that movie.
Yeah.
like thrown away.
I get he's a very good pilot, but he's done the same crime 3 times.
Speaking of, okay, you want comedy?
I would like some.
This is so unrelated.
Okay.
But I say arrested, and like I'm thinking of like high profile arrest. I'm working on a conspiracy theory. Maybe we could start it here. We can like start spreading it here.
Go. I like it. Go.
Famous people that are arrested really aren't in the prisons they claim they're in. So
What? Is this a Ghislaine Maxwell?
she's potentially one of them. So I told you know how I was on jury selection for El Chapo.
Yes. I knew that.
Did not get picked. But for whatever reason, I was on El Chapo's Wikipedia page a couple months ago. I noticed that they list the prison, the federal prison he's listed in.
Okay.
And I go to it.
In Brooklyn.
No, it's in like Utah or New Mexico or something like that. Like
Sure.
federal prison. Like it doesn't matter like where you're indicted or like charged. When it's federally, they ship you off to a fucking, middle of nowhere.
Gotcha.
Allegedly.
Oh.
So I click on this prison's Wikipedia page, and there's some pretty like high profile people locked up with El Chapo.
What do you mean high profile?
Like people you've heard of in documentaries or movies,
Okay.
or like that guy's still alive type of thing. But they're all in like isolation. I'm like, these motherfuckers aren't in isolation. They just claim they're in isolation. And every once in a while, like the federal government will like arrest like a Mike Situation or a Fire Festival guy and put them in together because they know those fuckers will talk when they leave 3 years from now and be like, oh yeah, we're all in there together. They're not all in there together. They're all fucking living in their own private island somewhere.
What started all this?
Just nothing. Just me bored on Wikipedia.
Yeah. This is what I would say about this. I would say you need to fill your calendar up with more things. Because that's such a fucking wild conspiracy theory.
Like, you think Ghislaine is just going to be in like a cell for the rest of her life?
Oh, no, she'll get out eventually.
She's going to get murdered, or she's going to be in like Nantucket with a facelift.
I thought you were going to say Nancy Pelosi's house.
Hey,
Oh, that's what you were going to say.
be Nancy Pelosi's neighbor in Nantucket, for all we know.
Listen, that could be her prison, according to you.
Yeah, exactly. Just saying, think about it.
Here's something no one's
They
doing.
had to kill Epstein because it was one of those things. All those other people that could potentially end up in one of these prisons, they had to like get him because he's like he knew too much about this prison system. That's why he had to get murdered.
You think Ghislaine doesn't know as much as Epstein about the prison system?
I don't think so. That last part I'm just going to tack on in the moment. I have no idea.
That's the most sexist thing you've said on this podcast.
That's really me talking to my ass right there. Everything else has been like I've been thought about that last 30 seconds. Ignore.
Her father is Israeli intelligence. Her sister's Israeli intelligence. You're telling me she doesn't know about a prison system? She knows all about the prison
I know
system.
she does, but I'm saying like Epstein knew. I don't know what I just said. Ignore it. Delete.
All right.
Delete. Highlight a chunk and delete it.
Isn't she? She's in New Hampshire now.
Who knows?
Well, there you go.
Don't park up the street with me.
You don't hear anything about her case. Last thing you heard about her case was that she. Did you hear that she said the jury wasn't diverse enough?
No, but I respect that move.
I do respect that. That's if I was the judge, I'd be like,
this bitch gets it.
she get this one. She knew what she was getting herself into.
Right.
Smart move. Here's no one, to my knowledge, has tried to go.
By the way, please, if anyone writes in and is like, I kind of agree with Kyle's prison theory about like high profile people. First of all, look up who's in El Chapo's prison and tell me those people. Tell me with a straight face you think they're all in the same exact place. They're not.
But here's another thing: how deep into murders or crime do you have to be to know who these people are?
Not very much. I'm not a big true crime person, but I recognize a lot of these names. I'm telling you, it's fucking weird.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Okay.
But I'm going to look up these people and be like, Kyle, I have no idea who any of these people are. What are you
All
talking about?
Anyway.
Unless it's like
but I'm
Amber
saying,
Heard.
if they write in, you got to let me know. If anyone says that's not the craziest thing I've ever heard, start telling people at bars that theory.
That theory? Okay, yeah. If you're trying to get laid, don't talk about that theory. I'll tell you right now, because that's an insane theory.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, gripe. What's the next gripe?
I think I'm out of gripes for that movie.
Okay.
I'm gripeless now.
All right. You said you had a couple questions. Any other questions?
Yes. This is the third podcast I'm asking. I'm getting very interested in how people grew up vacationing. So you're a RBC kid. You're a Rockville Center kid. Where are we going on vacation?
We went to Disney a couple times.
Pretty nice. Who paid? Did the
we
grandparents
didn't,
pay or did the
we didn't win in
parents
a
pay?
game show. No, my dad paid.
Your dad paid. Now, what was the group that went? Just the immediate family?
Oh, yeah. Once in a while, before my aunts got married, they'd tag along, but I was really young for those.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny. I tried doing a joke once about... This is what I hate about comedians. This is like open mic mentally ill people.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. I was trying to do a joke about how I had one of those dads where it's like if you have an 8 o'clock flight, he's waking you up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
to drive 15 minutes to JFK and sit at the gate for 2.5 hours.
Yep.
For no reason. And I told this joke. I was just trying. I was trying the premise.
It's a concept.
The concept.
It's
yeah.
relatable.
It's relatable. Exactly. And this person gets on stage after me and starts going like, "Oh, the fucking privilege of that. You're complaining about going on vacation. Who do you like shitting on me for trying to like be relatable on stage as a comedian?"
Guess what, guy? People go on vacation.
It was a woman.
They might not identify as anything.
I'm sorry. I tried being gender neutral while explaining the story because I know this person.
I had a feeling people knew.
No, I think I'm kind of friends with this person too, but just like
Oh, do I know him?
I don't think you know her, but it just was one of those things. I was like, "That's your takeaway from that attempt at a joke?" Like, I'm not saying it was funny. I'm just trying to like work something out.
It's an idea.
But the fact like that's what you're like, that's what you're at. That's where society's at. That's what you hop on, like the fucking privilege to complain about them.
People told age jokes tonight. Yeah. Are you hopping on me?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, a couple Disney vacations. Disney. Let me ask you something. Where'd you stay at Disney?
It was always somewhere different.
There's a couple places I have in mind.
I will say there's what? What do you have in mind?
I'm waiting for you to say. Where
I'm trying to think of names because I remember we stayed at the what was it called? The Boardwalk.
Oh wow.
We stayed at the Boardwalk. That was really nice.
I don't know what that is. There's like a dolphin thing.
No,
there's a dolphin hotel.
I don't know if it was called the Boardwalk, but
Boardwalk sounds nice.
Did I ever tell you a story? I got lost at Epcot.
You got lost in Epcot? Yeah. How old were you?
Too old.
Oh wow.
I was like 14.
You got lost in Epcot at 14.
I was 13. I have 2 Disney stories. I'll tell you. I was older in the Lost Epcot one, but I'll tell you the second one second because it's more interesting. Epcot, if you don't know, is just one giant circle.
Yeah.
And there's like exits like a highway to get back to like your hotel.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this. And we were staying at a place like, I think the Boardwalk is next to Epcot.
I've never heard of the Boardwalk, so I can't confirm.
Pretty sure it is. We stay there, and I like wanted to go back to like go to a store. And I was like old enough where I was like, oh, you're 14, you can go by yourself.
You could go to stores.
No, it was like one of those things. It was like an arcade or something like that. I forget what it was.
Okay.
But I go back by myself.
How hammered were you?
I was so dead sober 14-year-old. Hadn't even drank yet. And I think I was 13. But I go back. Sun goes down. I lose my bearings. I must have walked around Epcot as a whole 2 times.
You just kept walking around the circle?
I will never I will never forget finally getting back to my hotel room hours later. Hours. And like just face planting on my bed and the pain in my hamstrings.
From walking around the
I
circle?
think I was in like flip-flops, something like that. Or I was in like Vans where there was no support. I walked for hours and my legs were just shot. And I slept like a fucking baby.
You were like a tourist in London going around the circle.
Yes, like I can
just kept going around
European
that.
vacation. I couldn't find the exit.
You're just gonna get the off ramp.
I remember when I passed. I'd say it's like 2.5 times because when I passed the same thing the 3rd time on like the 0.5 trip, I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was just. That's when I found like someone like. I think I was at that age where I was like, "Oh, I'm old enough to do something, but I can't like."
You're stubborn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like ask for help because I'm a big kid now and I needed help.
Yeah. You know there were employees there like this fucking big-headed idiot.
Yeah, I know.
13-year-old.
Exactly.
Can't figure this out.
But the other Disney story I think at Disney is we went for like there was some event like like someone like dances at Disney or something like that. It was
some sort of performance happens.
And we went for like a long weekend. So it was like we were probably there for like 2-3 days total. But just my mom brought us.
Interesting.
And
a solo parent vacation.
Yeah. It was I don't who knows what was going on.
I have an idea.
What?
Solo parent vacation rarely is a good thing.
No, it's my parents were together.
No, I know. I'm just saying at the time.
But what's it called? So my mom's dealing with me and my brother and her sister the whole weekend, and is like fucking up to here with us, like live like
not happy,
like only parent like watching us. And we get back, we land. It's like 8 o'clock that Monday. It was a long weekend. And you know, like on like light switches, they're like the sliding lights to dim them, the dimming lights.
I've used them.
The flat part on the actual metal tip of the dimmer was off, so just a bare little metal like thing come out of the wall.
You told me this story.
I jumped down the stairs
Yeah.
and my knee nicked it, and there's a little hole in my knee, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I bent my knee, and it split a line across my knee, opening it. I saw my kneecap.
Yep.
And I'm just like on the base of my staircase. And my mom's like, What could you possibly be yelling at? Like, she's had 3 kids, long weekend, like, just wants to go to bed. We gotta go to the hospital. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look. And I bend my knee more to show her. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I ripped up my whole fucking
And
day.
it was literally the worst time to do anything like that. Like, truly the worst timing of my life.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I think about how pissed my mom was that she had to then go to the ER after being in airports and Disney with kids all weekend.
With 3 kids.
Yeah.
With 3 idiots. And
Yeah.
she's like, one day this kid's going to walk around the circle 2.5 times.
Right. Just a year later, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
It was like it was
Wow.
weird. So it was like that's why it was weird. It was like there was some like my dad was like, I forget what happened. I'm mixing up the order, but there was a reason we went so like close back to back, and it wasn't like I forget what it was.
Magic Kingdom called the castle needed refrigerator parts. Here, that was like, I gotcha.
You never know. You never know. What's this? There's another. Speaking of, I was gonna say my mom would have been happier if I got this injury in Disney. I once had. We're covering like all the times I went to Disney in my life now.
I've learned that this vacation question really opens doors.
Okay, right before we went to Disney once as a kid, I just finished a sick Lincoln log cabin in my basement.
God, you suck. You were such a boring kid.
And I was like,
Lincoln Logs. When did you grow up? 1968?
It was 1996 because my sister was just born, and I can remember she was a baby. And I'm like running, I had socks on, running up a carpeted staircase, and I slip, and I bash my head into the staircase. 2 front teeth fall out. Had to get surgery at like a grown-up doctor. Like my dentist could not do what needed to be done.
Yeah.
And I was an absolute nightmare. 'Cause I'm a 4-year-old. Just lost my 2 front teeth. Like
You suck at stairs.
I've gotten better.
I would hope so.
Right. But it just happened that my stitches were due to get taken out while we were going to be in Florida. So we had to go to like a little trailer park surgery dentist thing in the middle of Orlando. Like I picture this place in my brain. Whatever you're picturing, it's 10 times worse. It was.
I don't think that's possible.
And I remember walking in, and it was like, I'm sure I'm just misremembering it, but you know, like in old movies when the doctor has like the big like circle thing on his forehead.
Yeah.
I remember him having that.
And it wasn't a person; it was an alligator.
I literally, it could have been that. And like, he probably wasn't like, it was probably a guy in Florida like, oh, there's no doctors in this area. I'm going to pose as a doctor.
Yeah,
I need to put this thing on.
Just goes into the yellow
I don't
pages.
know, because this is pre-internet, obviously pre-smartphone. There's no, like, you want to find a person to take stitches out, you got to go to, like the yellow pages, or
Yeah.
like hope the concierge at the boardwalk can suggest a place.
It's never good when you go to the concierge and say, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
I need a restaurant and a place for my kid to get 2 front teeth."
But I remember like my dad being like, "Where the fuck? Like, what are we doing here?" Like, type of thing.
Yeah, now I understand why he didn't go the second time.
Right. These was like 10 years apart.
Well,
He was scarred. Yeah, that's my Disney. But you were talking about vacationing in general.
I'm just talking about vacationing in general.
Yeah. It was really just like the occasional trip to Disney. And then once like we outgrew Disney, we went to like Vermont and started skiing more, stuff like
Vermont?
that. Yeah, like Mount Snow or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are 2 classy vacations. Okay.
I know you like to make fun of the South Shore, but we're better than that shit town you're from. So
Well, I'd slow down. But, so you didn't do an annual summer vacation. This surprises me.
we're not summer vacation people. No. Like go
What do you mean
somewhere.
you're not summer vacation people?
It never.
Everyone's summer
like we
vacation
never
people.
went to Wally World during the summer.
The fuck is Wally World?
Do you never seen National Lampoon's Vacation? Like,
Oh, that?
yeah.
No.
Like I'm saying, like we never had like, because of Catholic school and the Catholic school holidays, our vacations were based around like Easter.
I thought you went to Southside.
I graduated from Southside eventually, but growing up I went to St. Agnes.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Catholic school.
I mean, I could guess. I could guess that.
But yeah, there was.
Why didn't you go to Catholic high school? No, I'm interested.
I did for 2 years, and I departed.
Were you a Chaminade kid?
No, I didn't go to Chaminade. I got in. My dad still made I didn't go. I went to Kellenberg
What?
just to. I was an idiot. I should have gone to Chaminade.
Why didn't you go to Chaminade?
I just didn't want to go.
For those,
And my parents made the decision, the wrong decision, to let me make a choice. And I don't know if you know me, but you should let me
Yeah,
make
you're not
choices.
fantastic at choices. For those who don't know, on Long Island, there are tiers to the Catholic
Yeah,
schools.
I chose like a C school.
You chose. It's not even. There's not even a letter grade. It's
Yeah.
just if you didn't
It's-
get into any of the other
it's
schools,
really a shitty
you went
school.
to Kellenberg.
No, that's not true.
What's worse?
Because St. Anthony's is an option. It's too far away. If you're from Nassau, like where I'm from in Nassau,
Okay.
it's either Chaminade or like Holy Trinity is a fucking joke by me. Like if you-
Hicksville.
Yeah, so
Tough.
it's either Chaminade or Kellenberg.
Kellenberg. I remember playing them
I-
in JV.
Yeah, I probably we talked about this. I probably played you.
Oh, yeah, for lacrosse.
Yeah.
But it was football, and we had to take a piss, and we go into the school, and you had peacocks roaming
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
That was the craziest thing. I had to do like a quadruple check.
It smells like shit in there too, right?
Well, the thing is, when you let wild animals
Yeah.
explore your school, they'll
Right.
shit all over the place.
You know, I'm curious. I said this the other day actually. 'Cause I was,
No
I was-
other school had that. If that's
oh.
what you were curious
No,
about.
no. If you go to a high school now, not even middle school, not like a grade school, a high school, it will smell like shit regardless of having birds around. I'm just
Yeah.
curious how much more of shit smell. Because Kellenberg was like, I remember showing up in 8th grade for like a tour, and I was like, what the fuck does this place smell like? But you get used to it. Then I went to Southside where it was like, obviously there was no peacocks around.
Yeah.
So we did, I just kind of, I guess, forgot that it didn't smell like shit. But I'm so curious if I was to go to like a regular high school first and then Kellenberg being like, what the fuck is going on with
You
this
would have
smell?
had to get expelled from that high school to go to Kellenberg.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oof.
No
Kellenberg
one does
stunk.
2 years public, 2 years private. Unless you get kicked out.
Yeah. If you, like, unless your family moves.
Unless your family...
Yeah.
Right, I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, within the town. Why do they let the peacocks walk around?
I was so disassociated with anything. I couldn't tell you a single thing about.
If I went on a tour in 8th grade to a school and there were peacocks walking around, the first thing I would ask is, why is this allowed? Why is this allowed?
It'd be great if they're like, well, actually, mystically, peacocks hold the souls of little kids that got raped. So it just kind of keeps them in the building.
I would have been like, all right, thank you. Thank you very
just
much.
some like wild excuse like that.
I would, or maybe they're like, you know what? We tried this with ostriches. Didn't work out.
Yeah.
So we're going with a smaller bird. We're trying to make it go. What? Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
So then why did you leave? Because you were like, you know
It
what?
just wasn't a good school. My parents finally realized. And I was miserable from day one, and they just were like, fine. And also, Southside's #1 school in the state, so
Yeah, you keep saying that. I don't think that's true.
it is true.
It was never true.
You can look it up.
No way. We'll look it up after this. There's no way.
Feel free.
It's definitely. It could be a blue ribbon school.
#1 school in the state.
There's no way.
Look it up.
It can't be Jericho.
Jericho's #2.
There's no shot in hell Jericho's #2 to
Look it
South
up.
Side.
It was Southside, Jericho, because we're mostly Gentiles. That's why. The rest of the state's anti-Semitic. No, I'll tell you what. It's because Southside is #1 because they're the best with placing kids. They have the most programs for kids. I'm not trying to be funny. This is just facts. So you have So if you're like a genius, you want to go to an Ivy League school, they have the IB program for you. But if you have like a legitimate mental illness, that has the greatest like program for people with special needs.
Yeah, they got And
then they have like people move to our town for that program. And then we're better than Jericho.
Who?
It was
measured
Southside. I think it was like Newsday.
Okay. I'm a big U.S. News guy.
It might have been U.S. News too. I'm dead serious. But it was Southside, Jericho, Roslyn, I believe.
All right. I'm really skeptical.
Look it up.
Did you have a program? We called it A School, and in my parents' school it was called the Castle Program.
We had something called Greenhouse, which was for like the bad kids.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so you called it Greenhouse.
Yeah.
What is greenhouse? Was it in a physical greenhouse? Were they botanists?
I truly don't know. I couldn't tell you a single thing about Greenhouse, but I could tell you that's where they put a lot of kids that weren't white.
Oh.
So at graduation day, like it was a pretty mixed school to begin with, but at graduation day, you're looking around like, was this school 65% black and Spanish? I just didn't notice.
Wow, it's a big greenhouse.
Because they bust them all back in for the graduation. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I went to school with all these people, like, because they all graduate together.
Right.
So it's like all these kids you didn't go to school with for 2 years just come back and graduate with you. It's really racist. They just put like...
I mean
trust me,
Rockville Center.
there was a lot of white like druggies there too, but like it was mostly like black and Spanish
Did
kids.
they bus kids into your school?
they didn't bus anyone in, and it was kind of an issue where a lot of towns, like lower income towns around us, would have like a family member that lived in the projects, and they would say, "Oh, this kid lives in the projects," and use like their grandma or aunt's address so they can go to Southside. So it's not really busing in. Like it's the opposite of busing in, where they're like, "This is such a good school, we don't want the riffraff coming in."
Right.
And they would try to like crack down on that sometimes.
We had that. But instead of like people faking addresses, you'd have like 6 families live in a house.
Yeah, we had a lot of that too. Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I went to kindergarten with the girl with the gold tooth. And I was like, I've never seen that before. That's a very unique thing. And then a year later, I was like, where's Elizabeth?
She went to the castle thing, whatever.
No, we were in kindergarten. And I was like, where's Elizabeth? And then it came out that her mom faked the entire address.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, no, because we don't have really any black people in Syosset.
Oh, okay.
So it was a lot of Indian kids acting black.
It's annoying.
It was odd.
Yeah.
To have a niche act tough. You're like,
Right.
Your dad's a fucking chemist. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Like
We had that.
you know they're like a doctor or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
Why are you acting tough?
Yeah. This really isn't our place to speak about, Rich.
No, we graduated correctly. We did.
No, I'm just saying, like in like. Anyway, who cares?
Yeah, whatever. What were we talking about? Vacations. Yes, you're not a summer vacation fan. I don't fundamentally understand what that means.
Like there was never like we went. So my dad's from Croatia. We did like one really big trip to Europe once.
I understand
Like a
that.
2-week trip. It was a 2-week trip right before 9/11, August 2001. And
What a time to travel, huh?
It really
Bring
was.
a pocket knife onto a plane.
I'll tell you how big of a time of travel. This was the first time I heard someone use the F word. We get back because we flew. I think we had to drive back to Italy to fly back because Croatia's like a fucking.
Yeah, the planes don't go there.
I don't think they have like commercial airliners leaving Croatia at the time. Now they do because like Yacht Week and shit. But we get back to the airport, and this guy had put like a crate of wine in his checked luggage bag. Like
I know how this goes.
And we're at the carousel, and it's just like it's every bottle broke seeping out of the bag.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "What the fuck, motherfucker! Like, you put a wood crate in
Yeah,
a suitcase
Who
on a
checks a wood
commercial
crate?
airliner? What the fuck did you think was gonna happen?" So now, like, granted, it wasn't a carry-on with like 3.5 ounces, but like you could bring a crate of how many, God knows how many bottles of wine in the checked bag in August 2001. You can't do that anymore, I'm pretty sure.
I think you could still do it, but they'll be like, you're a fucking idiot if you do this.
Right.
And he's like, oh, still going to do it.
But yeah, that's like the one summer vacation I can even think of.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I think it's very staple, no matter if you're class or trash, you go on a summer vacation.
Yeah.
You're the first person I know that didn't go on a... Besides people that went to summer camp. I exclude them from the conversation.
Yeah. Wasn't really a summer
People
camp
go to
person.
summer camp in Rockville Center?
The Jewish kids do.
You got Jews?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're very we got it all over there.
How many kids you graduate with?
We don't have a lot of Indians and Asians. We have like
Yeah,
that's one thing we really don't have a lot of. I think just under 200 because we're a B school.
You're telling me you were the #1 school in the state and you don't have a lot of Asians and Indians?
That's how good we are.
Kyle, the more you're talking about this...
Clip it. That's the clip right there.
That's the clip. There's no Asians or Indians. You have a streak going through your entire town that's green for the St. Patrick's Day parade. And you're the #1 school in the
It's
state.
not about what kids are in the school. It's about where the kids go to college. Like there was legitimate. I think there was like 17 or 19 kids from my class of under 200 that went to Ivy League schools.
That's nothing. In Syosset, that's a bad year.
How many kids are in your class?
We had like 650.
650 a class.
Yeah.
And so percentage wise though, say it's 20 out of 200. That's 10%. 10% of your 650. So you had 65 kids go to Ivy League schools.
Easily.
No fucking. That goes against everything those schools are
Shit.
about.
No. You got the Changs and the Lees. I mean, that covers 40% of the
You're
school right
juicing
there.
those numbers. You're juicing those. That's you know.
The numbers aren't juiced. We know how to recruit, Kyle. It's all about recruitment.
But what were we just talking about? Summer vacation.
It's not normal to not go on a summer vacation.
Yeah, I think
I'm telling you.
because the South Shore, it's big. Like cabanas are big. You get like a locker or a cabana. The
Wait,
wait
what?
the wait lists for like a beach club cabana or locker, it's crazy.
Beach club?
Yeah, people wait like generations for these things. This is South Shore North Shore shit. This is you don't know.
I never heard of a beach club before.
You never heard of like Sun and Surf or
I mean,
ABC?
out on in the Hamptons, I've heard of a beach
yeah,
club.
you never heard of like Sun and Surf, Silver Point.
Never.
Oh wow, you're missing out.
It's a beach club.
Beach club, it's like a locker or a cabana you get in Long Beach or Atlantic Beach, part of a club.
Atlantic Beach is nice.
Yeah, and it's just like there's like it's essentially a. Some of them are more country club-esque than others. Some of them are just parking lots with lockers and cabanas. But it's like there's usually a restaurant there as part of the club, and like you still pay for like you pay like a normal restaurant, but like it's part of like
You're allowed in.
yeah.
Okay.
Depending on the club, like public can go to that restaurant too. It's all there's like it's like anything else. There's tiers to it, but that's like the big thing you do.
Never heard of that.
Like I can't even think of friends of mine that were like, oh, big summer vacation. Like that really wasn't a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you a town pool guy?
No town pool in Rockville Center.
No town pool in Rockville
No.
Center.
No,
I guess
no-
if you're
no
so
public
close to
pool.
the beach, why?
Yeah, there's nothing like that. Yeah.
Why have one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you're just doing the beach club.
Yeah. And the beach clubs had pools.
The beach clubs had pools.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Beach clubs open year round?
No.
You would imagine.
Memorial Day, Labor Day.
Yeah.
And it was one. So you don't know about sleeping down.
Sleeping down?
Yeah. So I never had. We had a locker at this one place, but my buddy had a cabana at a different place, and it was a big deal to sleep down, sleep over. You had to like put it in, like let the beach club know I was going to sleep in my cabana overnight. Like it was a big deal.
How big are the cabanas? They're on the beach,
Not
right?
big.
They're on the sand.
Not big. No, they're like propped up on like. You never seen this is crazy. You don't know what this is, but like they're not that big. So it'd be like a big slumber party. So one miserable parent would have to like watch like X amount of kids just like sleep like crumbed
This is
up.
insane to me.
Yeah, it's not. It's so overrated.
It's literally what refugees do.
But it's so much fun as a kid. I only did like twice because I was like it was a big thing to get invited because it was such a pain in the ass for that one parent
Right.
dealing with all this shit. But now you can't do it because one of the like these cabanas like they've been there for 100 years. They're made of old wood. One like lit on fire and some people died.
Yeah, well. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no more sleeping down.
One person?
I don't know, but it wasn't good.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you get caught sleeping down, big fine. Big fine.
Now,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
let me tell you what doesn't happen in Syosset. Burning people alive in wooden boxes.
I thought you were gonna say smart white kids.
Nah, they're just, it's hard to compete with the rest of the class. You know? It's like a donkey to a horse. It's like, yeah, it's like kind of
They're
the same.
built for different things.
Yeah,
is what
they're
you're
built for
saying.
different things. That's fine.
Right.
But they're kind of the same.
Yeah. They could mate.
Can they mate?
Which
Can
one?
donkeys and horses mate?
Mules can't mate, I believe.
Mules are... Wait, but mules are donkeys.
I think that's the difference. One can procreate, one can't procreate.
Are donkeys sterile?
I think it is a horse can fuck a mule and make a donkey, and a donkey can't have kids, or a horse fucks a donkey and
It makes a mule.
and the mule can't procreate. I think that's one of those two is how it works. I could be completely wrong. I'm not the reason Southside was #1 in the state by any means. I'm just throwing facts out there.
Oh. All I'm saying is Loyola acceptance rate, not bad.
I had a really good SAT.
Yeah, good SAT.
Oh yeah,
Good ACT?
that didn't bother.
Yeah, I did too good of an SAT.
Oh yeah.
All right. That's not bad. Kyle Mara.